Okay, morning everybody. Sorry, a bit late start, a minute behind schedule, so apologies. Welcome to, what day is it, Thursday morning Pilates. I'm Jenny, for those of you who are maybe not so familiar. We've got just our normal Thursday morning session as we usually do. Maybe you're outside in your garden or on your patio. It is a lovely day. It is quite warm outside, but I've come indoors. It's a wee bit more sheltered and peaceful. So, as always, I am presuming you have a certain level of understanding of Pilates and what some of the exercises are. So please bear that in mind as we go through the session and the class. If you come to any move which is not appropriate for you, then please don't do it. And then if in any doubt of any exercise, then please be sensible and miss it out. Right, we will begin standing today. So just take a moment or two to get yourself set up. So place those feet roughly hip width apart. Have your toes and knees and hips all facing forward. So your hip bones, knees, and kind of second toe are all aiming towards me or facing forwards. Then take a second or two to lift yourself up nice and tall. And then we're going to put our hips and pelvis into neutral. So move your hips back and forth until you find that neutral or natural position for your hips. Tailbone pointing down, hip bones facing straight forwards. Make sure the weight is spread through the base of your feet and you feel steady and grounded on the mat or the floor. Open up across your shoulders, release your shoulders down, lengthen through the back of your neck. Keep those hip bones facing forwards as you hold your hips in that neutral position, and tighten that belt or lace up that corset around your center. So tighten that belt, that kind of 3 out of 10 effort or feeling. Draw that belly button towards your back. Lace up that corset about that 30% level. Keep your arms down by your side. Keep that gentle squeeze in your core and take a few slow and wide or lateral breaths from this neutral standing position. So open wide and then release, go again. Your ribs open out and then let go. Release your shoulders down. Keep that squeeze in your core and lift the shoulders up and let them go. And again, shrug and lift up. Release and let go. And again, rise and release. One more time. Lift up, let go. Good. Drop your chin towards your chest. Look up and forwards. Turn, look over your right shoulder. And then round to the left. Come back to the middle. Let your head drop over to that side just to stretch the outside of your neck. And the other. Crunch. And back in. Give the shoulders a roll round. So keep your pelvis still. Keep that tummy drawn in. And roll the shoulders round. Go one more time that way and then change direction. So bring your shoulders round the other way. Good. Nice. Come back to the middle, reach your arms down by your side, lift and rise through the shoulders, and then relax. Shrug and lift up, release and let go. And again, shrug and lift up, release and let go. One last time. Lift up and release. Good stuff. Okay, we're going to twist. So bring your hands together so your fingertips touch. Your thumbs come towards your chest or your breastbone. We're going to twist towards the side. This will look like you're right. So rotate round to one side, keep those hips facing forwards, and then back round to the middle, release through the shoulders, other way. And same again, keep those shoulders down, keep the hips facing forwards, round you go. Give small movements. One more time other side. Good. And one more time this side. Good. Bring your hands down in front. Slump and fold forwards, chin comes down, hands come just below your knees, let your head and neck release, and then roll and stand back up. Go again, shoulders down, drop your chin, fold and fold, fold and come forwards, and then rise up again. Release at the top one more time, fold forwards, and then lift up, nice and slow. Okay, this time we're going to go all the way down, so if rolling all the way down to your hands near the floor is not good for you, stick with that modified or slightly reduced range of movement. Drop your chin towards your chest, bend your knees a lot, fold forwards, let your chest come down towards those legs, let the back of your hands come down towards the mat. Then keep those knees bent as you roll and lift yourself back up. We're going to do that again. So bend your knees a bit more than you normally would. Let your head and neck come down, let the backs of your hands come to the mat. And then roll and lift yourself back up. We're going to do that again, but we're going to take a stretch through our hamstrings at the bottom of this move, so go with me. So chin towards chest, roll down, lots of bend through your knees. At the bottom of this movement, hang here for a moment. Keep the knees really bent. Now straighten out through the legs slightly. Oh dear. And try and stretch the back of those hamstrings. Bend the knees a lot again and roll and lift yourself up. We're going to do that again. So fold forwards, lots of deep bend through your knees, and now try and straighten the legs. Push your hips up nice and high. Good. Bend the knees again and sink, and then roll back up. Head comes up last. We'll do that one more time. So fold forwards, hands come down, knees are bent a lot. Now straighten out through the legs. Try and stretch through those hamstrings, get your head and neck down. Then re-bend the knees and then roll back up. Nice and slow. Head comes up last of all. So we're going to move into our squat. So send your knees forwards as you sit down into that squat position. So sink your hips back and then stand up nice and tall. Keep that tummy drawn in, so keep those abs pulled in nice and strong. Sink and then rise. So sit those hips low, push your bottom back, and then up you come. Just move up and down at your own pace, sitting those hips low and then standing up nice and tall. So push your bottom back and then rise and stand up again. Hands come up in front as you sink and sit, and then up you come again. Hands just float up in front. Just a little bit lower on each of the next couple if you can, if that feels okay. And then make your next one the last one. Good. And stand up. It's quite warm. Okay, so keep your feet hip width apart. We're going to come up onto our toes this time, so work through our ankles a little bit more. So roll up onto the balls of your feet and then back down. So lift up again and back down. So just working through those ankles, a little bit of strength through your feet and your ankle joints. Lift up and slowly back down. Last couple. Lift up, hold a little bit longer this one, and down you come. And again, slightly longer hold this time. Lift up, squeeze that tummy in, keep those shoulders nice and chilled out at the top, and back down. Okay, a little bit of balance work this time. So a couple of kind of combined things today. So we're going to stand on your right leg, or left I'm on, so it doesn't matter which one. You're going to lift that leg up, hold that balance. You're going to extend that leg in front, sweep it round and lift it up through. So in that toy soldier balance, extend and bring the leg forwards, half circle round and then lift up. We'll do it a bit slower when we go together. So standing on one leg, doesn't matter which one. So from here, lift that knee up, hold that balance. So tummy drawn in, shoulders level, stay and hold that balance. Then extend that leg forwards, again hold that balance. We're now going in that half circle, round you go, and bring that knee back up. We're going to try that a second time. If you need to tap your foot down, that's absolutely fine. Extend forwards, sweep round, and lift up. I'm fighting to hold my balance. Good. Okay, we're going to try the same, just twice through on the other side. So swap to standing on the other leg. Get your balance initially, Spread the base of your foot. Lift the knee and raise the opposite hand. Hold your balance. Oh dear, I'm going to have to concentrate hard here. Extend that leg forwards. Now you go round in that half circle and lift that knee back up. I'm fixing my gaze on a point down there so I can try and help me balance. Extend that leg forwards. Round you go. Up you come. Hold. Are we still there? And down you go. Okay, we're going to try that again. This time we're going to... Shall I gauge my brain before I go? Okay, so get your balance. We're going to go back and forth and back and forth, and then we're going to go round and up. So a little bit longer, holding in that balanced position on one leg. So back to the first side you did. So stand up nice and tall, get those shoulders as level as you can manage, and the hips also as level as you can manage to get. Then lift that leg up, opposite hand and knee are lifted. Extend that leg forwards, lift that knee back up. Same again, extend and reach forwards, hold, lift that knee back up. This time, come down again and hold. We now do the half circle, round you go, and lift up. Hold this balanced position, stay here for a moment. Keep that tummy squeezed in, it's nice and strong and steady. Down you come. Very good. Quite a lot of work for your standing leg as well. Same on the other side. Get your balance on the other leg. Lift up, knee and opposite hand. Up and hold. Okay, how are we doing? Reach that leg out, lift that knee up. Same again. Reach that leg forwards, lift it up again. This time when we go out, hold. Now around you go in that half circle, lift that leg back up, and again stay and hold here for a moment or two longer. Maintain that balance, keep that chest lifted, leg up as well, hold there, wait for it. Now down you come. Working hard? Okay. Back onto the floor. Both legs just hip width apart again. Stand up nice and tall. You're going to come and balance on the balls of your feet. So lift up onto the balls of your feet. Hold that balance. Squeeze your tummy in. Bring your arms out on a kind of V shape or a slight angle and hold there. Now bring your hands into the center. Bring them back out wide and bring the feet and the arms down. Same again, lift up first onto the balls of the feet, hold, stay here. Now bring your arms up, extend out forward, palms facing towards the ceiling. Bring the hands to touch in the center, bring your arms back to that kind of angle up to the side, and bring the heels and the hands down. One more time. How's your feet? Good? Hold that balance, lift up, squeeze that tummy in, maintain that posture. Lift your arms up and out wide to the side. Maintain and hold that balance. Your hands come in to touch. You take them back out wide and you bring the hands and the heels down at the same time. Give your legs a little shake off and just roll through your feet. Okay, last balance one we're going to do. We're doing a few more balance things today. So this time you're going to hinge from the hips and you're going to tip and fold forward. So a little bit trickier to balance with leaning forward and your leg going behind you. Keep that tummy pulled in so you're working really hard to hold yourself there. So hips level, hinge and fold forwards. Keep that tummy drawn in. Try and hold that balance with the leg behind you. Keep that chest open, steady and strong on that standing leg. And down you come. Other side, last one. Stand nice and tall and then hinge from your hips and fold forwards. Relax the balanced leg. Keep the shoulders down and open. Just that nice lean forwards just to challenge your balance. And then back you come. Okay, so go to one end of your mat, doesn't really matter which, and then get yourself set up to that. I'm going to do some roll downs obviously and some walkouts into that prone bridge or plank position. So from one end of your mat, again just make sure your feet are hip width apart. Tuck your chin in towards your chest. Roll yourself down, vertebra by vertebra. Come down to the mat. Walk your hands out in front. Take your hands towards the other end of your mat. Just place your feet feet. These are my hands. Hands slightly wider than your shoulders, and then just shift your body weight forwards and come into that prone bridge or plank position with your hands beneath those shoulders and your neck nice and long and your knees and hips and shoulders all in line. Tuck those toes back under, walk back in and roll yourself back up to standing. Let your head and neck be the last thing to come up. We're going to do that again. So bring your chin down, roll yourself forwards, let everything come down nice and slowly. Come onto your knees, walk your hands out and forwards. Come through with your chest to come into that prone bridge on your hands and your knees. Hold this position for a moment or two. We're going to lift up onto our toes. So tuck your toes under, squeeze your belly button towards your back, neck nice and long, then straighten through the legs and rise into that full prone bridge or plank. So hold that position for me, nice and strong through your arms and legs and core. Keep that tummy lifted. Hold for another couple of seconds here, and now we'll come back down to our knees and we'll push back into child's pose stretch. So push your hips and bum down, reach your arms and hands forward. Okay, we're going to come back up into that prone bridge or plank position again, and we're just going to add a couple of progressions on here. So walk those hands out, move forward onto your knees initially, and then we're going to come up onto our feet next. So keep the hands just a touch wider than those shoulders, chest forwards and over your hands, tuck your toes under, and now straighten out through those legs. Okay, I want you to try and take a walk with your feet. So we're going to take them to a little bit wider, so almost mat width. So keep those hips nice and level, and you're doing the same move or same position, but you're in a wide stance or wide position with your feet. Keep that tummy drawn in, keep that back nice and long. Now, keeping your hips super steady, I want you to walk the feet back in to a little bit closer. Keep that neck nice and long, keep the hips in line with your ankles and your shoulders. Keep holding here. Good stuff. Now, carefully come down to your knees, and again, just stretch back in that child's pose position. Okay, we're going to do one last prone bridge. So, last time, come out onto your hands, and then this time we're going to balance on one foot. So you're going to point one foot behind you. A little bit tougher this one, so just have a go. Don't panic if it's a bit tricky. Just maintain holding your plank if that feels better. So into your knees first of all, then up onto your toes, and then lift into that full prone bridge. Now, take your right foot and try and point it behind you. So literally uncurl those toes and point your toes back away from you. Put that foot back down, and now do the same thing on the other side. Point that foot behind you, try and hold that balance on one leg, then put the foot back down. Just hold here for a few moments longer. Keep that tummy lifted, stay nice and strong for me, then come to your knees, and again, sit back. Okay, we're going to come and do a couple of things on our fronts or lying face down. So, sorry Sheila, just move yourself forwards, put your hands out in front so you can use your fingers for your rest for your head, legs extended behind you. We're going to go swimming with the legs, so you're going to lift up from your hips and you're going to move your legs up and down like so. It's a fairly quick movement, but fairly small range of movement. You're not going massively high with the legs. So get yourself set up, and before you start to move the legs, just try and make sure that your tummy is lifted so your belly button is pulling away from the mat. So squeeze your tummy button in towards your back, so up towards you here, then lengthen through the legs and then go. So move the legs up and down, fairly fast but fairly small range of movement. Remember to try and move from the hip, don't just wiggle your feet. So trying to think about trying to lift your thigh up and down, not just your foot and your ankle, and rest there. We're going to do that twice more. Leave your head down. Sorry, I'm just keeping my head up so I can speak more easily. So head down, tummy button lifted, lengthen through the legs and go. Keep moving. A few more seconds here. And then rest. One last time. Take a couple of breaths. Then squeeze that tummy button up and in, lengthen through the legs, lift and go. So the legs are moving pretty fast and the upper body is staying pretty steady. Last few seconds here. And then rest. This time, your legs are going to stay still and we're going to work the arms and upper bodies. They're going to move this time. So, your arms are out in like a W or an E kind of shape, so your elbows are bent and your hands are away at 90 degrees from that elbow joint. So, from here, squeeze that tummy button up and in, lift yourself up and then place your chest and hands back down. So small movement up or down, squeeze that tummy button up and in, lift up and slowly down. Tell your legs to relax. Mine are clearly trying to help out. So squeeze that tummy up, lift up and slowly down. And again, lift up and slowly down. This time you're going to lift up, you're going to reach your arms straight forward, you're going to draw your elbows back and down. Join in this time. So lift up with the elbows and the hands, reach the arms straight forward, bend the elbows back and down you go. We'll do that twice more. So rise, extend, come back and down. Last one. Rise, extend, come back and down. Put your hands next to your chest and carefully bring yourself back up onto your hands and knees, onto all fours. So hands underneath shoulders, knees beneath your hips, neck extended along, shoulders down and away from those ears. We're going to start by moving opposite arm and leg. If you find this too much, just do arm or just do leg. You don't have to do both together. So draw your belly button in towards your back, reach one arm forwards and the opposite leg away. So extend, hold that balance and then bring that hand and leg back under. Same on the other side. Squeeze that tummy up, other arm, other leg and back you come. Let's just keep that movement going, alternating sides. So reach out and back under. Push one leg back as the other arm reaches forward. Nice and steady, back and forth, one arm, other leg. Good. Good, keep going. One arm and the opposite leg. Good. Nice and steady. Push the arm forward, then push the toes back behind you. Last one this side. Reach out and come in. We've done this one before. I'm going to show you from the front. So on your hands and knees, start with the same movement. Out and then to the side and in and down. Join in with me this time. So lift up and extend like you just did. Take the arm and leg to the side, bring the arm and leg back in and down you go. So reach out, sideways, inwards and down. Keep that tummy lifted, extend, out, in and down. Okay, on this one, we're going to add a tap down. So just watch this one. So you're going to go out, then to the side, then touch the ground, then come back up, then come back in. Sorry, there's a few different directions to go here. Okay, we've got this. Squeeze that tummy up. Join in with me this time. Reach straight forward and straight back. Now go on that angle. Now get the hand and foot to touch the ground and just reverse that to come back in. Rise, center and back. Same on the other side. So straight back and forth, out on the angle. Tap the ground, rise back up, in, and there we go. Same again. So reach, open, floor, up, in, and repeat. Other side. Extend, hold, touch, lift, in and down. Last one on each side, and we're going to hold in the second position. So reach forward first. Now hold on this diagonal line. Hold your balance, fingertips reaching forwards, leg reaching back. Stay here for a moment longer. Now you're going to touch the floor with the hand on the foot and come back up and hold. Hold that balance, leg extending, arm reaching. Try not to wobble as much as I am. Then come back in and slowly down. We'll do the same thing for the last time on the other side. So reach back and forth with arm and leg. Now here we go and hold. So your fingers are reaching one direction and your legs going back on a diagonal line behind you the other way. So maintain this balance, keep reaching with the foot back and the arm forwards. Squeeze that tummy button in towards your back. Hold this balance a moment or two longer. Now touch the ground with the hand and the foot and then lift them back up, and again just hold the balance for a few moments here. Steady, steady, keep that tummy lifted, hold that balance, come back in and down. Okay, just give me a bit of a cat-cow stretch movement from here. So push your back up and then curl your back the other way. So arch and lift up and then curl and sweep through. One more time. Lift up and then down you go. Okay, come over onto your side. So just take a second or two to line yourself up on your side. So your legs are extended, your hips are stacked, your ankles are stacked, and then just lie down on your outstretched arm. Have your fingertips or hand down in front to balance, just to help you to stay steady, and then keep that top shoulder down and open and keep the hand on the floor. We're going to lift up both legs together and just hold the balance. So lift that waist before you move, lift that tummy in, engage those core muscles, and then lift both legs up and hold that balance. If you can put your hand on your top thigh and hold that balance, fine. If you can put your hand up in the air and again hold that balance, that's grand as well. Or leave that hand in front if you need, just to steady yourself a tiny bit. Bring everything back down. Same again, lift and hold. Lift the waist, squeeze the tummy in, lift both legs up and hold. Now from here, the top leg's going to go up and the bottom leg's going to touch the ground. So lift up and squeeze together, and then down and up with the opposite legs. So come together and then open. So close and then open. So keep that movement going on this side. Down with the bottom leg, up with the top, and then bring them back to touch. Leave your head down, Jen. Good. Together and apart. Keep that waist lifted, keep that tummy pulled in. Nice and steady. Movement smoothly up and down. Squeeze and open. Last couple. Final one. Good. And rest there. Okay, this time we're going to do like a bicycle kind of movement with that top leg. You maybe want to bend that bottom leg slightly, because we're then going to sweep and cycle round with that top leg. So join in when you can. Straight leg if you want. I'm going to slightly bend my bottom leg, gives you a little bit more stabilization. So sweep that leg round and kick that heel back. So quite a lot of work through your hip. So you're probably feeling it around here anytime now, or maybe you're fine. Maybe it's just me that finds this one quite tiring. I find this one's lots of work in my side. Okay, now then, you've been kind of bicycling forwards. You're going to go into reverse mode. So you're going to go back the way and go the other way around. Is that too much for my brain? I think it might be. Good. Do your best you can. Last couple. How's your leg? This muscle working? Good. And down you come. Now then, bend your knees up in front, and then we're going to roll the other way. So you can roll round or flip ends, whichever works better for you. So I'm going to go the other way, obviously, just so you can see. But you just move yourself around so that you're lying on the other side. So just take a second or two to get yourself set up again. So legs extended, ankles are stacked, knees, hips, all one on top of each other. Ankle upon ankle, knee upon knee, hip upon hip. Hands down in front. Get your balance. Lift from the waist. Lift yourself up. Squeeze that tummy in. And then we're going to start with that leg lift, both legs coming up together. So keep that weight lifted, keep that tummy drawn in, and lift and hold. So both legs are up and together. Remember, you can have your hand here or up in the air if that feels okay for you, or leaving your hand down on the ground is also fine, remember. Keep that waist lifted, keep that tummy drawn in, hold that balance. And down you come. All right. This time, we're going to do the first initial movement, then it's the open and close, the up and down with the opposite legs. So lift up and get your balance initially, and then down with the bottom leg, up with the top, and squeeze back together. So it's that small movement, up with one leg and down with the other. So that's that close and open movement. So bring both legs together and close, and then move them up and down and open. So together and apart. And again, just keep that movement up and down going. If you need to take a rest at any time, then that's fine. But as best you can, keep those legs moving in and out. Good. Last few. And make your next one after this one your final one. Good stuff. And then down you come. Okay, bicycle with the other leg. So lift that top leg up. I'm going to bend that bottom leg, sorry, forgot that bit. And then you're going to sweep that leg round. So bring your knee forwards, drive that heel back, and round you come. So try and stay nice and steady on this side as you sweep that leg round, forwards, back, and through. We're going to do a few more on this side, and then we'll do what we did on the other side, and we'll do the reverse direction. So just make your next one through your last one, and then try and go the other way. So just reverse that movement, reverse that sweep, bring that leg back, down and through, back, down and through. Keep going. Last couple here. How's your hip? It's fine? Bit achy? Last one. Oh, okay. Bend your knees up in front. All good? And then carefully roll round onto your back. So just move yourself on your mat to get yourself in the right position, and start with your feet flat on the floor. We need to make sure our hips are in neutral before we move into the next few exercises in this supine or on our back position. Shoulders relaxed, tailbone anchored, so move that back by, move your back into neutral by moving your hips back and forth. So find that position where the hip bones are facing up towards the ceiling and your tailbone is anchored on the mat. Keep that back in that slight natural curve. Keep that tummy button drawn in and tighten that belt. Okay, we're going to go straight into some alternating heel slides. So I'm going to do a harder progression straight away. You can do this one leg at a time if you prefer, but I'm going to go straight into doing your legs moving back and forth. So when you're ready, tighten that tummy, and then just going to go back and forth with one leg then the other. If you find this too much on your back, then just do one leg at a time, leaving your foot on the ground. That's fine. So just nice and smooth, back and forth, one leg then the other. So nice and steady in and out, keeping those hips nice and steady, keeping your back in that neutral position. Good. Last couple here. Well, I'm going to do loads of these. And rest there. Okay, we're going to try and do opposite arm and leg. So again, we're going to try this harder progression. If you find it's too much, you can do one arm and leg at a time, leaving one foot on the mat. Just want to try and challenge some of you a little bit that have been doing this a little bit longer. So hips in neutral, tummy button drawn in, hold that position through your hips, and then out and back with opposite arm and leg. Remember, your modification is to leave one leg down and do this one leg at a time. Leave your head down. Sorry, I was lifting mine up so I can speak more easily. Good. Last few, so keep moving. We'll do a few more each side. Opposite arm and leg moving back and forth. Slide your heel away and move the opposite arm overhead. Last couple. Make your next one your last one. And rest there. Okay, we're going to come into that tabletop position for the next couple of exercises. And again, we're going to flow back and forth. We're going to make the movements quite smooth and quite fluid rather than one leg or one part at a time. So hips in neutral, tailbone down, one leg up into tabletop, other leg up into tabletop to join it. Knees are above your hips, your thighs are roughly vertical and your shins are roughly horizontal. And you're then going to slide back and forth with your legs. So again, hold that position through your hips and then move your legs in and out. So one leg comes in and the other leg goes away. So nice and controlled, nice and smooth, extending of one side and then bending the knee in on the other side. Keep that back nice and flat, hold through your hips, keep that back nice and steady and keep that natural curve through your spine as you move those legs back and forth. Try and hold as steady as you can. Keep the hips nice and controlled and still. They're hinging and moving obviously, but their back's not lifting. Last few repetitions here. Good, and make your next one each side, your last one. Nice. Carefully put the legs and feet back down. Okay. We're going to add an arm movement to that as well, so a little bit more coordination required and similar degree of core strength. I'll show you and then you can just join in as and when you feel that you're ready to do so. Shoulders relaxed, tailbone down, abdominal switched on, so you come up into tabletop first of all, and then we're going to start with our hands adjacent to the outside of our knees, and you're going to go out with one leg and the opposite arm, and then we're going to switch back and forth, okay? So the easiest way to start is from here, and then go out, and then start to switch. So join in when you're ready. If your brain's struggling, then just go one and come back, and out and come back. Those that are moving smoothly, just carry on. Remember to take a break if you need. So if you start to tire, or you start to lose the quality, or your back starts to move, then just take a break, and then rest, and come back in, and do a few more. So nice and smoothly out and back with the arms, and opposite legs are also moving as well. Good. Am I doing the wrong side? No, we're good. I tried to think there and then it all went wrong. Good. So nice and smoothly back and forth. Last few repetitions here. Good. And final one. And a rest. Okay. Next, we're going to bring the legs up straight, and we're going to do a bit of stretch in the back of the hamstrings. So tailbone down, legs up into tabletop, extend both legs up, and then bring them back down. So extend both legs up and back down. Now I want to challenge you a little bit. So lift your head and chest and reach your arms by your side and keep your upper back off the floor, and your legs are still going up and down. So you're still extending double leg stretch with both legs, but your arms and neck and shoulders are lifted off the mat. So stay in this lifted position and your legs are still moving up and down. Last couple of repetitions here, guys. Final ones. Good. And rest there. Carefully put the feet back down and extend the legs away from you. Going to start with legs only, and then we're going to add arms. So legs extended, hip bones facing towards the roof, and just alternating, lifting one leg, then the other. So keep the hips in neutral, keep that back nice and steady and still. Keep that tailbone down and hip bones facing up as you lift one leg, then the other. Like I said, we're going to add an arm in a moment. So just give me a couple more of these on each side. And you can rest next. Slow it down and take one arm over at the same time as the leg lifts. You're going to need to do this on one leg at a time. You can't flow so much. So join in when you're ready. Hand and leg up and back. Other hand and leg go over and back. Nice and steady, nice and smooth, over and back down. So the leg lifts at the same time as the arm goes back, and just try and keep that control through your hips and your back as you're moving the arms and leg to and fro. Nice and smooth. And so you've got one more on each side. So one more on this side, and then we come back, and this is your last one on the opposite side. Cool. Okay, bend those knees and bring your feet in. So your feet are on the floor or the mat. Your knees are pointing up towards the ceiling. We're going to roll and lift up into bridge. So make sure your feet are hip width apart. Your arms are rested by your side. Curl your tailbone up and in, and lift yourself up and off the floor or the mat. Hold in that bridge position, and then smoothly roll back down to the ground. Push your hips away at the bottom of that movement, and then roll and lift up again. Hold at the top, and then nice and smooth back down. So we're coming towards the end of the session in the next couple of minutes. So just take your time, nice and smooth, and lift up, and then steady as you roll your hips back down. We're going to do a few more here, but make your next and final few a little bit slower than you normally go. So take your time, try and stay nice and steady. I'm a bit wobbly, need to work a bit harder to stay even. We've got one side stronger than the other, so need to work on moving everything down evenly and smoothly. That was better. Okay, so roll and lift up. Hold at the top a little bit longer this time. So stay in this lifted position just for a moment or two. Keep those hips, knees and shoulders all in that strong and straight line. And then slowly come back down. Let's do one more in that held position. That's quite a strong pose. So roll and lift up. Knees and hips and shoulders in line. Squeeze that tummy in. Work the glutes a little bit as well. Hold in that lifted position. Legs are working too as well. Hold there for a moment or two longer. And now carefully and smoothly roll yourself back down. Extend the legs out straight and away from you, and reach the arms overhead, and just take a stretch from fingertips to toes. And then bring your arms back by your side. Bend your knees and bring your knees into your chest, and just give your back a little roll round one way then the other, just whatever feels nice. And then we're going to take our time to come back up to standing. So when you're ready, just roll carefully onto one side. Bring yourself round onto your hands and knees. Then just take a second or two to bring yourself back up to standing, and we'll finish up with our balance on our toes. So just take a second or two to come back onto your mat in the middle, feet back to hip width apart, stand nice and tall, draw those abs in, and we've got 3 balances to finish up. So lift up and hold. That was my toes crunching. Down you come. And again, lift up and reach and hold. And we've got one last one together. Take a breath, lift up, hold that balance. Good. Okay, thank you very much, folks. Go enjoy this beautiful day. Or if you've enjoyed your day and you've done it later on, good job. See you next week. Thank you very much. Bye-bye.